Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net, and this is your look ahead video updated on Monday the 2nd of March. Thanks again for watching. We're here in the training room at WeatherWeb Towers, had a weather school here on Saturday. Some really good feedback and suggestions from that one as well, so thank you everyone who took part. Always fascinating, you know, to see people come in with a level of weather knowledge and then go out finally understanding how to use the charts properly and how to make better forecasts themselves. So we spent loads of time on Saturday talking about 500 millibar charts and stuff that I'll gradually introduce here during the videos. Also, I'm going to be running some more webinars as well very soon. So we'll run those during the evenings. They'll be kind of an hour long, and we'll do half-an-hour sessions on certain aspects of the weather. So we'll look perhaps at skew-tees, we'll look perhaps at clouds, we'll look at the 500 millibar chart, and I'll explain and we'll do a quick training session about exactly what we're looking at. And then you can ask questions, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. Well, yeah, I'll try. And it should be fun. We did the webinars a few years ago. They worked really well, and now I find myself able to do them again. So more about those coming up. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Just use the contact form up at the top of the page. Right, let's get on with the forecast, see what's going on today. And I thought what we'd do today is kick off with the MJO forecast from the CFS model. This is the 30-day from Carl McRitch's site. And you see here, the black is where we've been. So we've gone through phases 1 and 2. But look, I mean, it really is kind of a Catherine wheel, going through all the phases very neatly, actually, during the next 30 days. So we're going to pick in to phase 3 around now, then we're going into phase 4 around the 7th of March, we're heading into phase 5 around the 12th, we're heading into phase 6 around the 17th, phase 7 around the 22nd, and phase 8 around the 27th. Of course, that is if all goes according to plan. And remember, this is based on the CFS model. So exactly what are we looking at when we talk about those phases? What weather do each of those phases bring? Well, first up, let's look at phase 2. This is where we've been. That's the trough that's been over Europe. We're getting to phase 3. Typically in phase 3, what we find is low the normal heights down to the south, high the normal heights towards the north and in the Atlantic. Now, we have a problem there, because that's not exactly what we're going to be seeing during the next week. This is the chart for the next week. These are from weatherweb.net. Now, you don't have access to these yourself just at the moment. This is from the high-resolution GFS, the brand new high-resolution GFS model, and we're just testing these charts, but they'll be available soon. Across the top here, look, it tells you the time that they are valid for. So let's just remember the next week. Remember what was meant to be on there. Look, there's the MJO, higher than normal heights to the north, low the normal towards the south. Well, that's kind of what we're going to be seeing. We've actually got pretty high pressure down towards the south. What we do have, though, is low the normal heights down here in the Med and here too. So there are kind of some signs that we've got that low the normal height, but I think we're just going through a transition phase. So I'm not going to just chuck out the MJO because of that. Look, this is going through to Friday, and by then we've got high pressure down towards the south here, low pressure up towards the north. We've got a southwesterly flow through the UK. That high certainly displaced further north, this low displaced further east. So, you know, there are some signs that phase 3 may be closer than we thought or than we think from the initial glance. So we're then looking into phase 4 coming up around about the 7th. What do we get then? Well, phase 4 looks typically like this. So this is coming Saturday, and we've got typically lower than normal heights to trough out towards the east of the country here. Look, ridge off towards the west. So again, it's not exactly tying in, but when you're using this stuff, you do have to, you know, apply a little bit of artistic skill and have a little bit of artistic license, because this is what we're actually going to be seeing. Look, this is what the MJO, I think, is probably more likely to be seen. There's the ridge on the 8th. Look, there's trough here. So I think it's trying to pick up on the idea of that ridge being out there to the west, and that's kind of where it is typically through this phase. And then you'll notice how into next week, look, the high hangs around throughout, tying in with that face. So the high is hanging around throughout. There's our trough off towards the east, kind of in here. Yeah, it's struggling a little bit. It's not tying in exactly with the MJO, but let's just stick with it, see what happens. Around about the 12th, we're going into phase 5, and typical phase 5 looks like that. Right, now we're getting somewhere more. High the normal heights towards the south, low the normal towards the north. We get the high building back northwards. Most areas staying in the dry weather, warmer weather as well, with that southwesterly flow. That starts to look better. Phase 6, 17th, looks like this. Higher than normal heights still in, look, low than normal down here. So what you tend to find is the ridge getting squeezed out here across the UK. We're getting an omega high developing in here. A blocking pattern develops. So that indicates that the high coming in and the dry weather is in for some time. And then we get into phase 7. Phase 7 around about the 22nd of the month. So phase 7 typically looking something like this. The high holding on, look. Higher than normal height, staying off towards the east. There's the omega pattern of the block, and it's just stuck in. It's blocked out, basically. And then we're getting into phase 8 around the 27th. Phase 8 looks like this. Change taking place, trough moves in, and things break down. So, what are we actually looking at when we're looking at what are we going to decide on when we look at conditions? Well, generally, I think what we're thinking is that the high does build in. There's no doubt about it. You know, it's showing right through, look, on these charts. And these now going through to a couple of weeks' time. So the high is in there. The high is strong, look. But what it does show is that we've got this trough out towards the west. There's the ridge. There's the omega block in a place with a high pressure under here. So I think what we've got to think is that the high is there, the dry weather is with us, the milder weather is with us as well. Question is, how long does it last? And when does this trough out here decide to make its move coming back eastwards? Well, as we've just seen, it looks as if it's more towards the end of the month, and that could well be the case. It could be that we're going into a dry, warm March, and as I showed you yesterday, the comparison with 1991 is actually quite remarkable. So I think that's where we're headed through March. Temperature graphs, fascinating. This is the temperature forecast for London from WeatherWeb. You get it simply by going to the homepage. So there's the WeatherWeb homepage. Then click on charts, which is in the menu up here. Just click on charts, and then down the left hand side here it says GFS operational, UK cities. Click on that one and you'll get your city graphs there. And notice, look, this is for London. Look at that rise in temperature taking place this week. Some real warm conditions coming through during this weekend, well into double figures. And actually, dare I say it, it looks like it could be feeling warm. So, interesting one to keep our eye on, as always. Don't forget, Gary has your fast forecast for the next few days. So he's got the detailed forecast on our video for you there. But for now, whatever you're doing, thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Don't forget, get your feedback into me. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see more of on these videos. It might be that you're involved in a business that we're not providing the information for at the moment, and you think, well, couldn't you just skew it a little bit towards what I want to see? So if that's the case, then let us know. But for now, whatever you're doing, thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining, and bye for now.